Hey guys, hope you're doing well. So we're going to do a check-in. I'm going to pull some cards. Right now, a lot of us are in this really big transition period. There's a lot of shifting and stuff going on. A lot of people are really fine-tuning what they want and what's kind of the next step in the journey. When it's going to come, I can't really answer that, but I did get from Spirit a few months ago, like May, we were going to start seeing stuff. So we're in April right now. Maybe we were going to start seeing stuff outwardly. Obviously that might be different for everybody, or how it's going to show up is not always how we think it's going to show up. But kind of collectively and energetically, what I've been getting is a lot of us are walking away from people, situations, things we thought we wanted. We were seeing where we were still settling, even though we thought we weren't. We thought like, we're asking for what we want, all this stuff, and we're realizing how we're actually keeping ourselves still small from what we're asking. We're not asking for these big things that we really actually want, because we believe that there's some type of like conditioning with it, or there's something wrong with asking for it, or there's something attached to it. There's also a lot of shifting, especially with the feminines, where we're walking away from people and situations and things that no longer align with us. We're kind of working through lessons that we've been working through for years. We're seeing kind of cycles that we've been in, especially relating to relationship dynamics, how they relate to our family, how they relate to ourselves, like our self-worth, our self-esteem, our self-respect. And we're no longer allowing those energies to affect us, or we're doing things to kind of keep those people away from us. We're actually empowering ourselves, things like that. But also what we're wanting is different now too, because as we're growing and we're healing, we're realizing that we were settling with what we actually desired. We were like keeping ourselves small with stuff. With the masculines, it feels like they're shifting, but it feels like Spirit's kind of dragging their ass. Like, and they're saying like dragging through the mud. It feels like Spirit's kind of dragging their ass. It feels like they're very resistant. It feels like kind of the energy I'm getting is like they're clutching onto something and like refusing to let it go because of fear. And it's this fear of letting go of the past. It definitely feels like some mother wounds. And it could relate to an ex or somebody they're in a relationship with now. And how that relates to their mother relationship. But it just feels like this, like fear to actually step up and stand in their true power. It's like they're scared to actually be who they are. They're scared of like stepping into like their power, like being that like assertive person, being like grounded, like making plans, like actually taking action on stuff, like doing things that they want to. It feels like so many fears have kind of taken over, and it feels like a lot of them, they're saying the word gaslighting, but a lot of them, it feels almost like they falsely told themselves what they want, or there's a lot of false shit in their mind where they told themselves certain things that they wanted, but it wasn't really what they wanted because they were too scared to actually get what they wanted. They don't feel like they're deserving of it. Feels like they're working through these things. They have been working through these things. I definitely get some mother and sister energy with this too. Like a lot of feminine energy, but it feels like mother, sister, grandma energy. Mostly mother and sister energy. And just like a lot of conflict, but they keep saying like gaslighting and emotional abuse. So some of the masculines, it doesn't have to be just for them. That's who I was just kind of channeling, but I'm getting more so generally speaking, like this gaslighting, because they keep bringing it up, this emotional manipulation. And it almost feels like they're kind of being forced and stuck in this energy where it's like they know it, but they aren't accepting it for some reason. This doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to just be masculines. It can be feminines too. It's like there's some type of emotional abuse, gaslighting, stuff like that. And it's like this feeling like they don't want to accept it. Hi, you give me a kiss or no? I will put you in the room. I will put you in the room. I will. Come here. You sit, get down, or you go in the room. That's your decisions. So with the whole gaslighting thing and the emotional abuse, and this actually is a message I got from Spirit yesterday. I didn't type it up. Like sometimes I do and I post it. I don't always though. was about, because I asked them a question. The second I meet like a fucking narcissist or something like that, I've dealt with them my whole life, I immediately can't stand them before they even open their mouth. But what I realized is they're so, like, our intuition immediately tells us this person is a fucking problem. And we don't listen, because what happens is they will do all these nice things. They'll say all these nice things. They'll give you all this love. They'll give you attention. They'll give you whatever the fuck you want or need in the moment, and you're missing. And that's how they keep coming back and doing the manipulative bullshit, and why people keep falling for it, because you're not listening to yourself. You're not respecting yourself. You're not trusting your intuition, and you're thinking somebody like that is going to change. And those type of people, do they change? Who the fuck knows? But I personally do not think they change. Not at least in this lifetime. I don't personally. Nope. I don't personally think that. And honestly, I'm not sitting there waiting around to find out, because if your intention is to hurt me, or your intention is to fuck with me, or your intention is to bring me down, it doesn't matter how much you've changed. Like, it's a no for me, because I respect and love myself enough that once I'm done with you, I'm fucking done with you. Like, but I was trying to ask Spirit, because just my own situation, something came up, and I was just kind of like, why do they seem so nice? And the message I got from Spirit was, well, how else will they be able to do what they do and actually get what they need? And they have to falsely be nice. And you wouldn't know unless you're actually listening to your intuition, which is why when you meet them, something fucking tells you something is off, but you ignore it. So a lot of people, it feels like, are going to be getting full clarity and epiphanies, but it feels like they're kind of being stuck, so you guys can really fully understand the lesson. And there's multiple kind of lessons within those relationships if you're in them. If you're not in them, you probably have been before. Congratulations for getting out. But you might have somebody else who's in them that you're kind of helping through it, because you've already been through it, so you kind of know. I don't think people realize, like, when you're in a relationship with somebody, and I feel like the word narcissist gets thrown around way too much, but when you're in a relationship with somebody who's a narcissist, or somebody who is like a sociopath, right? I don't think people realize how emotionally fucked up you are after those relationships. And I've been out of a relationship for years, and there's still shit that comes up that relates to my ex, because of shit that they did to me. And like, when I look at it now, this is not hatred toward myself or anything like that, or, a lack of love toward myself. I'm always like, how the fuck did I stay there? Like, the version of me now looks at the old version of me and is like, how the fuck did you not literally punch that asshole? Or how the fuck did you stay? And I wouldn't have actually punched them, because I'm not violent and I don't believe in violence. But just the thought comes through where I'm like, how the fuck did I not beat their ass for that shit? How the fuck did I not leave? How the fuck did I tolerate that bullshit? And it's because when you're in those situations, they literally will pull at your emotions and things that you have from your trauma and your childhood and stuff like that, and they can feel your energy. So they know how to manipulate you and play with you. And what they'll do is they'll give you love, they'll give you attention, they'll give you affection, whatever it is that you need, and they'll pull back. And when you're like, okay, this is a problem, I can feel something, my energy is off, I'm anxious, whatever it is, they'll come in and they'll love bomb the fuck out of you, and they'll kind of do all these grand gestures, kind of do all this extra stuff, and then they'll pull away again as soon as you're like kind of in it. And then you kind of question stuff, right? But most people who have been in relationships like that and stay in them, they had a parent who was like that, who would give them certain types of attention or certain types of affection or certain types of love, but were also very dismissive or avoidant of other stuff, whether that's physically, emotionally, whatever need it is of yours. And a lot of people have those abandonment / avoidant wounds, because I think if you have an abandonment wound, you have an avoidant wound. If you have an avoidant wound, you have an abandonment, anxious and avoidant. To me, I say flip side of the coin, because when you have that abandonment wound, you might shift between anxious and avoidant. It depends on the person and what you're kind of healing. So, all right, let me pull some cards. But yeah, they keep saying the word gaslighting to me, like, over and over. They're like so persistent about it. So if you don't know what it means, I kind of told you a little bit, but if you don't know what it means, look it up and just see if you can find some information. Maybe it's going to be eye-opening too, and it's going to help you like click, like you're going to read it and it's going to click something for you, like where you're going to realize, oh shit, okay, maybe this is actually what's going on or not going on. I don't know. Okay. Just these? Okay. So we got status quo on the bottom. Nope, they don't want me to take that one. We got status quo on the bottom. So immediately what I got from this is a lot of you guys are seeing your own conditioning and your trauma, but a lot of you guys are actually going against societal pressures or conditionings or what you've been kind of taught we should say and should act like and should do. And it feels like a lot of you guys are opening your own path up and doing what the fuck you want to. Like you've seen how you've kind of repressed yourself or kind of kept yourself small, and you're going against that and you're opening yourself up. And as you're doing that, you're actually helping other people do that. One of the things I noticed with us is we'll kind of not fully say how we feel because we're scared people are going to judge us, or people are going to think we're jealous, or people are going to think we're bitches or assholes or whatever it is. And we'll kind of like lower ourselves even in those ways. And it's important to kind of say how the fuck you feel. Like if you're feeling a certain way, then say it. Like if somebody's judging you, they're going to judge you either way. Like, let's be honest. You could do nothing and they're going to judge you. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of this. So I was in the store today, and I was talking to somebody, she's a regular and stuff, like I love talking to her. And she came in and I was telling her about this new vendor I found. I'm so fucking excited. They have this one crystal that I want wholesale. It's over $1,000. Okay. It's a super rare ass crystal from one area. It's giant. I mean, it's giant though. Shipping on it's like $200. Like it's huge. And there was these people in there, and I never met them before, but you know, when people come in, I always say hi, like I'm friendly and whatever. I'm not going to just talk to everybody, but like if I know you or I get to know you, I'll say hi. If you start talking to me, I'll probably talk to you unless I'm tired, right? Or I don't like you. But most of the time, if I don't talk to you, I'm probably just tired. And anyway, so I could feel their energy was like kind of crappy when they came in. But then when I started talking to her about this stuff, like I could feel their energy shift, and they're like, all right, have a nice day. And I was like, what the fuck just happened, right? Like, I'm not sitting there cursing. I'm not sitting there and talking some crazy, you know, inappropriate shit, like in a crystal store, nothing like that. And Spirit kind of gave me this quick message a few minutes later, and they were like, yeah, she was jealous. She's jealous because like you're young and you're successful and you have your own store, and almost like she has this mentality of like, oh, I'm going to go support small businesses so I can feel good about myself. And then when I'm talking about buying $1,000 piece for myself, she was like jealous and insecure, whatever, and actually like sending anger and hatred toward me. And I could feel it. So when they told me, I was like, that makes sense. I was like, why do I keep getting the weirdest fucking people in the store lately with the like shitty energy or weird energy, or just sending me negative shit? And I'm like, am I really just triggering the fuck out of people by standing in my power? And Spirit just said, yep. And that's what it is like when we do that. But why should I not talk about some shit because you live in a lack-ass mindset where you're fucking insecure because of whatever? Like, my path and your path aren't the same fucking things. And instead of looking at it in that aspect, if you see somebody having something you want, use that as inspiration to move toward it yourself. That's it. Like, I think jealousy is normal. If I'm going to be honest, I think jealousy is a normal fucking emotion. I don't know why we shame jealousy so bad. Like, you know, I see all these girl posts where it's like, girls support each other and they're not jealous of each other and they're not this and this and this. Oh, no, sometimes we fucking are. But I always say this, it's not about jealousy being a problem. It's about you allowing jealousy to be a problem and to cause you to behave in a fucking vindictive or unsupportive way towards somebody because of it. Jealousy is really just seeing something that somebody has and you wanting it. And I don't understand why we add this negative connotation to jealousy. That is normal. It's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I was gonna say, do I get jealous? I was trying to think. Of course I fucking get jealous. I'm a Taurus. Like, we're jealous as bitches. But no, I was trying to think of like specific things. I'm never jealous of like certain businesses I've seen like where they have bigger stores, and I'm like, I wouldn't even say the word jealous. I'm just like, damn, that like motivates me to get, you know, to get going, but I also acknowledge that it's not actually exactly what I want. And there's certain things like I want that's different than them. But I would say the things that make me jealous more than anything is seeing people with their families, like seeing people who do holiday things together and have supportive families and have supportive siblings and, like have like loving people like that in their life, or have like friends where they could just like up at, you know, go like impulsively fucking travel or go do things like that. So those type of things are things I want. So do they make me jealous? Of course they do. Sometimes when I see people with families and like this really nice family, it makes me cry, like, you know, wishing I fucking had that. Like, I don't celebrate Easter. I don't give two shits about Easter, but like, seeing like other people with their families and having these nice big get-togethers and stuff like that, for sure, it definitely makes me jealous. It makes me kind of look at it and be like, damn, like I really wish I had that and I don't, and it fucking sucks. But it's never hateful towards somebody else. It's never like unsupportive. You always, I would hope you always want other people to be happy, and that's the whole point, is like we can be jealous, but we cannot project, that's probably a better way to say it, not project our jealousy onto other people. So anyway, there's a lot of that type of shit going on where like when we do stand in our power and we become ourselves fully and we just say what the hell we want and we just be who we are, like good things like happen for us. We feel better about ourselves. We feel less restricted, but we do also trigger the shit out of other people because other people don't do that. And then it makes them insecure because you're literally, your light is shining so bright. It is shining on their shadows. It is shining on their fears. It is shining on their insecurities. And a lot of people don't want to face them. They don't want to deal with them. They'd rather project out and like take that anger out on me, or like look at me as a problem because they're not where they want to be, instead of looking at their decisions or what choices they can make or how they can actually change things now. And I've noticed this victim mentality a lot online. It's been like this for like months, but I've noticed it even more and more and more, where people are constantly posting this shit, looking for sympathy, constantly posting stuff, looking for like validation and all this stuff. And I'm just like, do people empower themselves anymore? Like if you're, and I noticed this pattern too. It's always people saying the same ass shit, but y'all aren't fucking healing your shit. You're not facing your own shit, and you're not changing your behaviors to make your situation different. And it's because a lot of those type of people don't want to acknowledge that they are responsible for what the fuck's going on in their life. And they're talking shit about other people. And yes, some other people might be a problem too. But guess what? You're allowing those people in your life to cause the fucking problem, aren't you? I mean, obviously, I know there's, you know, extenuating circumstances in certain areas and stuff like that. I get that. But also, like, at the same point, I've noticed how people keep doing this. And it's like, if you keep complaining about the same fucking problem, what are you doing about it? What are you doing to fix it and correct it? What are you doing to make it better? How are you going within and dealing with your own emotions? And why the fuck you keep staying in situations that aren't good for you? And I'm hoping that by people like me standing in our power and speaking our fucking truth and saying certain things, it helps people heal and change. And I've noticed that the victim mentality people love to fucking sympathize with other victim mentality people, not me. And I think people sometimes think I'm a bitch, but that's all right. I like being a bitch. I never try to be a bitch in a mean way. To me, a lot of times think like being a bitch is just like standing up for myself and saying what's up. Some people don't like bluntness and honesty, but I'm going to give you a quick example of this that just happened. And then I'm going to go back to the cards. They just want me to talk about this. So I'm in some crystal groups. There's one of the crystal groups that I'm in is kind of advice and supportive stuff for crystal businesses. And I love trying to help people with business stuff. Business is one of my passions in general. And I love when people start businesses. Fucking excites me, not, following the fucking norm and working, bullshit jobs with bullshit money and all the crap, right? So I was like, ooh, I'm going to go in this group and help people. Somebody posted something, I think it was like yesterday or the day before, and they were like, dude, I can't even with this. They were shit talking a crystal seller. So they post the pictures, they post the the information of the seller and all this stuff. And they're like, am I in the wrong for filing a PayPal thing? So just give you the background. So they paid for something on a Wednesday. The person said they were going to ship it on a Friday, like this week that just happened. And on Friday, the customer had messaged them, because I think it was probably Wednesday evening. So technically next day is Thursday, but they said they're going to ship it Friday for whatever reason. Okay. So Friday comes, the person that posted this was like, hey, do you have a tracking number? They said, sorry, I'm still packaging your order. The person messages them on Saturday, like fucking 9 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 separate fucking times asking for the tracking number. And on Monday files a PayPal dispute. And they're like, am I in the wrong? And all these people are like, oh my God, this and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, first off, you asked for opinion, so you're going to get opinion. I was like, shit happens. It's also a fucking holiday weekend for most people. So like them not answering you for freaking like Saturday and Sundays, even though they're accessible because it's through Facebook, does not mean they have to answer fucking messages on the weekend. It's like any other business where most customer service is not open on the weekends and you have to fucking wait. And you shouldn't just assume you're going to get immediate access to somebody because it's a Facebook business and people are posting it. You didn't even wait one business day before you're filing a thing and telling them to cancel an order. And they're sitting there and thinking like they're like all this shit and all these people. And I'm like, does anybody even hear what the fuck's going on? And in my head, I didn't say this because this is where I speak my truth, but sometimes I shut the fuck up because I know that it's not necessarily helpful. I'm sorry, but if you're buying some shit for me and you're blowing my fucking text messages up, or you're blowing my messenger up, and you're messaging me 3 times in one day, demanding shit for your fucking order, I'm going to cancel your order. I don't even give a shit if it's for $1,000. I'm going to cancel your order and block you because I'm not dealing with your shit. And like, I don't know why people have this mindset where they expect that like, we're desperate for money or that we need business. And then like, we're going to go fuck somebody out of like $200 and something because we didn't get a response. Literally, we got a response Friday. We didn't get one Saturday or Sunday over the holiday weekend. And then we're going to file a dispute right after that. Like, nah. So for me, I don't know. I didn't say the last part, but I was just like, there's this like mindset that we have to be like available 24/7, or that like we have to respond to things right away or stuff like that. No, we don't. Even businesses, like I will say this, there are times where I'm going through energy shit, where I'm just tired as fuck, or there are times where I'll see a message and spirit guides me, do not message them. Like they will block me from messaging them. Even if I go to, I will, whatever. So for me, even though my mind wants to answer people because I never want to leave people hanging, I also know when I am being blocked from it, or if I don't have the fucking energy to do it, is because there's probably something on that end, something that needs to wait or whatever. And I think the other thing transitioning into this is we need to start listening to our body and trusting in our intuition and not our conditioning and our trauma and constantly worrying about everybody else. And this is definitely a huge ass lesson for me because I've constantly worried about everybody else and did everything for everybody else. And the last few years, but especially the last few months, hell no. Like I've been kind of forced to not do it. And oh my God, it's great. I'm not even gonna lie. It's so great. Like living my life for me and not fucking worrying about other people. And that's not to say I'm not sympathetic. That's not to say if somebody needs me, I'm not there, because of course I am. But it also means that I am not tailoring my life to everybody else's fucking bullshit anymore. And also transitioning to this, we need to listen to our body in general. This is another thing that reminded me of all this shit. So the last few nights we were in this weird energy shift. We seem to go in these different shifts every few days, if you've noticed, but transitions throughout the day, right? But they all kind of relate to the few day transitions and shifts. I haven't been able to go to sleep until like between 6, 7, 8 in the morning. And then like, I'll want to sleep like all day, or I can't sleep. Excuse me. And I saw something today and somebody was talking about their insomnia being really bad and all this stuff, and like they don't know what to do, and they're like, you could just feel the stress and anxiety. And this is what I try to explain to people is we're conditioned to think we need a certain amount of sleep, and we try to force ourselves to go to sleep because we're like, oh shit, we gotta wake up at this time or whatever. What we should be doing is listening to our body. If our body is not ready to sleep, we ain't ready to sleep. I don't mean like drinking coffee and stimulants and shit that keeps you up. I mean naturally, if our body is not wanting to sleep, it's not wanting to fucking sleep. So what do? Relax, listen to your body, relax. This is the same thing with eating, because sometimes we'll go through transitions where we're not hungry at all. we're starving, we're craving like certain types of foods for a few days or whatever, we should be listening to our body when it comes to sleep, when it comes to exercise, when it comes to food, when it comes to our emotions, when it comes to responding to people or not, when it comes to fucking everything. And if we listen to ourselves, we get into a flow with ourselves and everything just naturally transitions. You're not going to forget anything either, because if you have to get something done, you'll remember to do it at the moment you're supposed to, not when you think you should do it. And that's the whole thing with like the conditioning, is we've been conditioned to think all of these things, and most of them aren't even true at all. And so we've kind of been taken away from ourselves and trusting in ourselves and listening to our bodies and our energies of what we need and stuff. So, okay, let me do this. We got, you know how I am, but they say stuff to me and then you know how I am. So anyway, consciousness of lack and great achievement. Okay, so this right here is like kind of blockages and stuff from what you want, kind of what I said in the beginning, what you want. So for people like even this, like money issues, right, is like a lot of times people keep themselves small. They're like, oh, well, I want to make, like, if you have a business, oh, I want to make like, you know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month or something. Why not 10,000 a month? And then it's like, you have the blockage, like, one, it's not possible. Two, then I'm just being greedy. I don't need that much money, blah, 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 whatever. What's the problem with having unlimited money? Like, what's the fear of having unlimited amounts of money? What's the fear of you not being able to get that? Like, you're worried about being disappointed. Like, you're worried that people are going to take you for granted. You're worried that you're not going to be able to handle the money. Like, what is the fear there? What is keeping you small? And that's not just for money. For a lot of people, that's for money, but it's not just for money. It's success, whatever you define success as, because it's different for everybody. But also when it comes to relationships, like they're saying, like some of you guys are just asking for basic ass needs. Why are you not asking for more? Like, why are you not asking for what you actually want? The only way for you to get what you fully want is to be able to recognize what you fully want and sit there and ask for it. I will say this, because, you know, I talk about this with readings and stuff. So I've talked about this for a while, some of this stuff that I want to do with business, it just hasn't been the right time. I flow with my energy. So whatever, you know, whenever it's supposed to happen, it's going to happen. But I've been talking about this for a while of wanting to do like spiritual t-shirts and like artistic designs and stuff, like hire somebody to design what I like to come up with ideas, but have like pay artists for stuff like that. And I have like this inner child's oracle deck that I'm going to do. And I want to open like a bigger store and have like a little community center for people who are local artists to sell their stuff and helping them get their business going, to open a bigger store, have like younger like girls, women, whatever. Well, I guess they're young women, young ladies, whatever word, come in so I can help them, mentor them, hire them, help mentor them, help them teach them about business, life, you know, whatever, that type of stuff. Like I have so many ideas. The back of the business, I want to have this like Zen garden. I want to have fruit trees, like where people can just come pick fruit for free, like, but have like this sanctuary Zen place. Oh my God, I want butterflies, birds to come, like all kinds of stuff. So, you know, whatever. But like also when I'm building that, make sure I'm hiring like local businesses and supporting them and helping get the word out about that. So the newest thing that's been coming up for me, those are all things that are coming up. When they're going to come, I don't fucking know. We're trusting the process, right? We're preparing for all the steps. It's baby steps that make giant leaps. So my newest thing that I want to do also is start wholesaling crystals, not on a huge scale right now, but I want to. And so this idea, thought, whatever it is, came in a few days ago where I was thinking about the business and then having a separate kind of, not warehouse, but separate kind of place like behind it where I'm going to have all kinds of wholesale stuff. So I'm going to have a giant retail store or a big retail store. And then like in the back, like have a separate, you know, thing for business to shop wholesale. And stuff like that. So like that's a new one that came up and I was like, oh, hell yeah. And it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen and how it's going to unfold and all of that stuff. So when the ideas come in for me, I know it's just preparation to get me, you know, going. Like I do my sprays and my oils. We're going to do a whole line of stuff, like, oh my God. But think about also the people that I'm going to help in those businesses where I'm going to hire people, teach them the things they need to, hopefully I mean, I would love for people to stay, but like when they need to move on to their own adventure, that's fine. Bring some new people and do the same thing. You know what I mean? And like, oh, I definitely want to open like more than one store, like definitely have like a bunch of stores where we're having people who can use their gifts and helping people use their gifts and helping people heal, and places where it's not just a business to make money. It's also a place where people can go to feel zen, to feel like to get healing energy and stuff like that, and to teach them the same thing. So of course, like educational classes, stuff like that too. So I want it to be this big ass business, which is gonna fucking happen, but it's like trusting the process and just going with the flow, right? And even I was thinking small because I was thinking, oh, well, open like 800 square foot, blah, 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 blah. But then when I got the wholesale thing too, I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, we're going to do that shit too. And so like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not keeping myself small anymore. I'm like, oh shit, like if I open more than one location, it's gonna be a lot of stress. Nope, because we're going to hire the right people. We're going to get it done. And that's the whole point, is like opening it up to the full fucking potential that it has to be and letting it be the full ass potential that you want it to be. Stop keeping your ass small, but go with the flow, listen to your intuition and trust the process. And biggest thing, don't do what other people are doing. Do what naturally comes to you. And that's where you're going to have what you want. You just have to like, if you don't know the answer right now and you don't have the answer, then just wait until you do. You know, like I'm 37. Well, I'll be 37 in like 2 weeks. I'm like 30, you know, maybe 37. It's not like whatever. But I was thinking about this. I think it was like yesterday or the day before. And I was thinking about, no, I love it. I was thinking about how I started my first business when I was 18. And I've talked about this before. I fell in love with, this card keeps coming out, this 2 of Gabriel. I fell in love with online sales, I think when I was, I don't know, 12, 13, however old I was, when I started selling stuff on eBay, and I just got this like love for business stuff. And I still love doing it. I still love taking pictures, and I still love posting it online. I don't like shipping stuff, so I'm going to definitely hire somebody to start shipping my stuff whenever I get busier. But yeah, I love that type of stuff. And I'm thinking about, you know, like all the experience that I've had over the last almost 20 years, where I've learned so much with doing businesses and going from an online business and transitioning to, you know, selling out of my house to actually opening a small store to then expanding and just going to keep expanding and stuff like that. And I think about, I have so much like faith and confidence in myself with business stuff because, I mean, it's scary, obviously. I'm not going to sit here and say like, whatever. I just have trust and spirit in myself. But like, I have almost 20 years experience doing business where, you know what I'm saying? I trust in myself and my decision making. I trust in them to guide me, all of that stuff. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So I forgot the point I was getting at with that. Oh yeah, so it's not like this has been a long ass preparation, right? Like this has been years and years in the making of preparing me for all the stuff that's kind of going on. And if you, whenever you do find that passion, whenever you do find that excitement, if you look back into your young adult life or your teenage years, you'll see it actually has been preparing you this whole time too. For me, I've always loved crystals since I was a kid. I've always loved helping people. I've always wanted to do therapy. Obviously I have a psychology degree. Like I've always wanted to do stuff like that. I love businesses. I love doing business. I love helping people create business. This has always been stuff that I'm passionate about, and it's literally going to encompass all this stuff. Plus I love creating stuff. I love making jewelry. I love designing stuff. I like doing stuff like that. I'm not super artistic. I have the vision of it, but can I implement it the way I have the vision? No. I'm not artistic. I'm actually pretty artistic, but I can't put it on paper the way I see it in my head. And I would love to support somebody who that's their passion and sell their stuff and get their business out there and get them, you know, excited and stuff too. So, yeah, like this is all stuff that has been, you know, across my life, basically, that I've worked through and I've learned and I've grown and stuff like that. And that's kind of like what a lot of people don't realize is it's not that it just falls in your lap. It's already been being prepared for years and years and years. So, I mean, if you think about it, it's 20 years of doing that. And for me, like, I used to do website design for people for free. I figured out how to do it when I was 18. I just kind of would like fuck with like the HTML and the coding, and I would kind of figure it out, but I would do like logos for people. I'd get their websites going. I'm like, why don't you start a business? I've always been like a super supporter and encourager of people starting their own businesses. But if you think about how that was a passion back then, I gained the knowledge and experience so I could help other people with it and have that confidence. So when I'm sharing that with somebody, you can feel that confidence too. So anyway, okay. We got Ace of Ariel on the bottom. No, they don't want me to take that card. We got Ace of Ariel on the bottom. It's your lucky day. New resources of money, time, and support. A change in a job or promotion. For some of you, this is definitely a promotion. For some of you guys, this is also like you moving. Like either locations, or you like moving and buying a house, or going somewhere bigger. This is very specific for somebody. Like I keep seeing a lot of land. Like moving to a place where there's a ton of land and seeing a bunch of animals. What the fuck? Like, not farm animals, but farm animals is what it kind of looks like to me. I don't know who the fuck that's for. It feels like a female, but I don't know who it's for, but whoever needed that, that's for you. Aren't you lucky that Spirit's just giving you exclusive messages in the reading? I know they do that. Sometimes they give me certain words or certain messages for people that need them. So we just go with it. I don't really care. Okay, we got the World and Two of Gabriel. I love how both of these are Earth. And guess what's coming up in a few weeks? Taurus season, baby. Which is Earth sign. I don't hate on the other signs, but I love being a Taurus. I will always love being a Taurus. And then we got Divine Guidance and Five of Gabriel. 55s. Fives are all about change. I just realized that. We got 212 and 55. So the World, a very happy ending, coming full circle, spiritual growth and insight. And then we got Two of Gabriel, make bold and ambitious choices. Great progress is possible. Important relationships with people who share your vision. How perfect is this message for what we've just been talking about? It's something is like a cycle is ending and something is coming full circle. Something is closing. Spirit saying like whatever this is that you've had this vision about or this desire or dream about, it is protected. Like it's going to happen. You have to get into a place to be able to receive it. And they're showing me how they've been giving you pieces of the puzzle for a period of time now. It just might not have like clicked in your mind. They're saying like when I was talking about the business stuff and like how in the past, like I did like eBay and helped other people with business and how like all that stuff, almost like for some of you, it clicked the things that you were excited about growing up or that you're like passionate about and things you really loved or you found enjoyment with. And hopefully it helped you to see kind of what your own stuff is. I think a lot of people don't realize that, like, you know, for me, it's like, what do I do for fun? And it's like, I love my business stuff. I mean, I like watching TV too and like relaxing, but, or sitting outside, but like, I love like business stuff. Like, I just love doing it. I love unboxing the crystals and I love taking pictures of them, posting them, like all that stuff. I love doing that. The only thing I hate doing is fucking pricing shit. That is literally my least favorite thing. And it's like the only thing that I really can't hire somebody else to do. But I deal with it. It's not I shouldn't say I hate it. It's just not something that I enjoy. It's my least favorite, you know, part of business, but it is what it is. Anyway, whatever this is, it's solid. It's grounded. We got the rainbow in the card again. These keep showing up. This card specifically keeps showing up. And it definitely feels like you and another person working together. Yeah, it was like emotionally, energetically, and they're like, nah, in the physical world. Because it was like spiritual team. They're like, no, like you and another person working together. It could be somebody that you're going to mentor or that's going to mentor you, that's going to kind of help you with like information. Some of you guys, it's going to be like a partnership in some way. But it's going to be somebody that you're energetically in alignment with. It's not necessarily like a long-term thing. Sometimes it's like a shorter term partnership for you guys to learn what you need to. And then just, you know, like, it's just a nice, smooth transition. Just don't keep it going on longer than it needs to be, because that's where shit like ends up getting rocky. So just allow, you know, transitions to be smooth and endings to be smooth. I never understand why people make things harder. Like, I never understand why people make things harder, like ever. If you got an out with something, take the damn out. Okay, we got divine guidance and 5 of Gabriel. I'm going to read you the bottoms for some reason they want me to. The search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers and friends. So interesting. It's talking about important relationships with people who share your vision. Surround yourself with wise teachers and friends. And you got 5 of Gabriel, a challenge you can resolve. Withdraw from the drama of others. Have patience with yourself and those around you. So it definitely seems like a lot of interpersonal relationships with other people right now. What I get though from this, that might be specific messages for some of you. What I get from this is like, you're being guided. Even if you're not getting like super clear messages from spirit where you can feel it's from spirit, it does not mean that they are not guiding you, or those random aha moments, or you see something and something clicks for you and there's like an awareness or an epiphany. Like, you are getting pieces of the puzzle and you're naturally transitioning. As long as you're flowing with like with what information's coming in and what you know, when you have awareness to it, making sure that you're aligning your behaviors with what you know and what you want. That's super duper important. And if that, you need more clarity on that, go read my most recent Instagram, Facebook post. Today's the 13th. I don't know. It's Wednesday. I did it yesterday. Tuesday. So I don't know. Wait, is today the 12th? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway. For some of you, though, I also get you need to be patient with the things coming for you, because sometimes they're bigger than you need. There's more obstacles. There's more challenges. There's other things that are going on. And that's what they were kind of saying at the top, like with the other 2 cards, is like what you want is protected. Like what you want is going to come for you. But you have to be patient. Like, we're in this mindset, this rush mindset and mentality, like that if we don't have what we want now, then we need to go on to something else. Sometimes in that stuck energy, or where you're being forced to sit somewhere, you're actually growing and learning and healing the most, so you can actually get what you want. Like, you're unblocking stuff, you're releasing stuff, you're healing stuff. I always think about this specific situation, and I always say, like, I don't have any regrets, but I mean, definitely different choices I would have made, but I don't have any regrets. But there's one thing that I always say I wish I would have done. When I went through my divorce and we were living in the same house, I was so uncomfortable. I felt really I can't even explain it, and I don't really want to go into it. But I remember thinking, like, once I moved out, I wish I had sat there and empowered myself in that situation. I wish I would have sat there in that energy and used that discomfort as like a catalyst for me to grow. And yeah, it happened the way it needed to, but I wish I would have done it different. Like, I sat there and I just kind of cowarded. I definitely let my emotions get the best of me, and I definitely made decisions based on them. I wouldn't take any of them back, because I think they were all absolutely necessary, like 1,000% were necessary, and I don't regret them, but I just wish that I would have handled stuff different and not allowed that situation to affect me as strongly as it did. And I think a lot of people don't realize this, like even breakups, like this is the perfect like example of this. Even breakups, like we look at the breakups, right, as like this horrible demise. Oh my God, we're going to be alone, and all these fears and all this shit come in. And like, we look at them as these horrible things. But if we sit in that period of grief and we sit there and listen to what's going on, we're going to see why that breakup happened and why they were not meant for us, right? And we can grow through it, and we can use it to empower ourselves, and we can use it to kind of fine tune what we want and what we're looking for. And we can use it as like tools and lessons for choices that we made that probably weren't best for us now, especially the version of us now. The version of us in the past is the version of us in the past. So it was the best for us back then. But also seeing how much we've grown, also like just seeing things different and accepting them. And it's not hard going, or it's hard going through them, but it's also like, if we're using it for good and we're seeing the positive in it, it can help you through it so much better. I think the problem is people resist a lot, and they go into kind of like victim mindset, and there's nothing wrong with it, but also like, it's important to not disempower yourself in it and sit there and take it personal, like there's something wrong with you. Like, if you have those emotions, I feel like this is for somebody specific, maybe more than one person. If you have those emotions going on where you're feeling like not good enough, or you're feeling unworthy because of your relationship, I would look at the type of people you're in relationships with. I would look at what choice did I make in a partner, and did they treat me like I had value and worth? And if not, why would I be in a relationship like that? And a lot of times it does stem back to our childhood and unresolved trauma. But then we can use that as an opportunity to reflect on it and grow and to make different choices and to see where this person wasn't valuing me and where, okay, I actually want to be valued. I want to be respected, and like what behaviors I'm going to avoid in the future. And, you know, how can I empower myself and give myself my needs instead of expecting them from other people? And how can I go within and give myself that love that I'm needing from somebody else? And like when we go internally and we give ourselves our needs, we don't need to chase relationships. We don't need to chase love. We don't need to chase things because we're meeting our own needs. We're giving ourselves, you know, the support and love we deserve. And I'll tell you this, and I know I'm not the only person because I've talked to a few females in the last few weeks who are in the same thing I am, which is my life is not perfect. It's far from perfect, but I am in such a different place where I don't even want to be in a fucking relationship. Like, I'm not going to go look for one. I don't want to be in one. And here's why. Because I'd rather be by myself and be at fucking peace. I'd rather not deal with another person. And if I do get in a relationship, that shit better be fucking easy as fuck, smooth as fuck, and not dysfunctional. And better be everything I'm looking for because I ain't tolerating shit. Like, and that obviously that goes for calling myself out on stuff too. You know what I mean? It's everything I say about somebody else, I also for myself as well. But like now, I was like, I'd rather just be fucking single. I've been single for a few years. I don't even give a shit. Like, I honestly don't even give a shit. I'm like, I'd rather be fucking single than deal with the dysfunction or toxic bullshit or chaos. And I've been like even expanding my needs in relationships, like kind of realizing and reflecting on stuff that keeps coming up and how I was even settling with certain things or not really being fully respected in relationships, and seeing what I want that's different and seeing like what the relationship I would want to look like and how I want it to feel and like what it would be. And like, this shit better be hella positive or I ain't gonna get in one. I'm not even fucking joking. I'm like, I honestly like just sitting by myself, like even just, yeah, like just not socializing as much and just sitting and being by myself. I'm like, so much better than dealing with everybody else's energy. It's just, I don't know, I can't even explain it to you. It's like, even when the chaos is going on and stuff, it's like, I can still find peace just being by myself. So anyway, we got, what is this card? Conjunction Alliance. We got, okay, I'll read this afterward. The fuck? I've never even seen these cards. Well, it's a newer deck. I'm going to get these for the shop. I need to because I like the deck. Conjunction Alliance. Okay, what a weird ass message. So, okay, this is metaphorical, and I'm just going to tell you what they said to me. Like the movie Fly Away Home, which I've not seen that movie. It's like with Anna Paquin. I haven't seen that movie in fucking forever. So that might just be a message for somebody who asked about that movie or a message from it or something. And they're like laughing. So yeah, one of y'all asked about that, or you just watched it, or you saw it online, or you saw it on like your fucking downloads or like a TV thing or something. And that was like spirit, like, bitch, we hear you. Okay. Like, anyway, it's this energy of like, there's like, they said like flying home for winter, like hibernating, like migrating and stuff like that. But it's like, after that, when spring comes, it's like things start coming back to home. Like they start, I don't know how to explain what the fuck they're talking about. They start coming back to home and like the seeds that have been planted come to life. Okay, I told you it was metaphorical. All right, we got Aquarius, collaborate. So we keep getting these cards about like collaboration or working with somebody. Descendant, invitation. And Midheaven, pinnacle. Oh man, that was like, oh dude, I got some weird ass shit going on in my ear. So the collaborate and the descendant invitation they're having me put together. So This is like some type of opportunity is going to come for you, and it definitely relates to another person. It doesn't just mean business. This could also be like traveling and going on vacation together. This could be some type of new adventure. It could be something small like you guys going to like a theme park or something like that. Or it could be bigger where you're traveling or you're going like out of the country. You're going to like on a journey somewhere. For some of you, it definitely feels like a relationship. It could be romantic. It could be like a platonic friendship. It could be either or and or both, because we are not living small. So we are getting everything we want. So it might be multiple things. You might be having 4 of those things happen for you. You could have all of them and even more. They keep showing me a bell too. Like, it looks, the word Liberty Bell came in my head, but it looks kind of like a big bell like that. Like a metal, I don't have any bells. We'll have a bell in my living room, but I'm not going to get it. It's like from my mom. With like irises, because my element. But it's I don't know, they keep showing me it's like a metal bell. I don't know what the fuck that means. Apparently we're just throwing all kinds of shit out today, like symbols and stuff today. But anyway, it definitely feels like something's going to open up for you really soon, like next few days to within 2 weeks. From now, when you're seeing it, not when I record it. So even if you saw this in a few months, from then until like 2 weeks, if this is for you, something's coming in. With the Midheaven Pinnacle, it definitely feels like a lot of you guys are going to be surrendering more over the next few weeks. Like you're working toward this, and you're going to be coming to like this energy within yourself where you're more connected to yourself, where you're more connected to source energy. You're more connected to your spirituality. And they're kind of saying like the truth and awareness to stuff, like some of the human stuff and the spiritual element, and them kind of combining and working together and stuff. So what a cool ass message. Okay. Well, anyway, I hope you guys all have an awesome day. I know that was a weird ass transition, but yeah. All right. Have a good day, guys.